Well, I'll be honest, Jimmy, math was never one of my favorite subjects.
Don't feel bad. You are not alone. It's how it is for a lot of young women, as a matter of fact. Studies show by high school, only 1 in 7 teenage girls says she's good at math. Women also underrepresented in math-heavy professions. Only 7% of all civil engineers, 32% of all physicians are women. So how can teachers get young girls excited about numbers?
Well, today we meet one woman who has made it her mission to make math fun.
It's her mission to make math fun, whether she's assigning a problem
What is the total sum?
or helping students work out the answer.
The 2 and the 1, they're whole, so that would make a 3.
Professor Vesdelina Stankova is passionate about one thing, math.
For me, mathematics is very beautiful.
Stankova wants young girls to feel the same way. She says math circles may be the key. They are weekly after-school groups that make learning math fun. Complicated problems become intriguing games.
I got to the sum. He did this.
Stankova says a math circle was what inspired her as a young student in Bulgaria.
That's where I saw problems that were so interesting and so engaging.
In 1987, she represented her country in the International Math Olympiads.
No one ever told me that math is too hard for girls.
But statistics show American girls lose interest in math as they get older. While 81% of elementary school girls report liking math, that number drops to 61% once they reach high school. Stankova says her math circles are keeping girls interested, and her students agree.
I do like math.
Math is seems like almost straightforward, but then there's also times when it's not, when it can be super creative and you can make up like problems.
Stankova's own daughter even shares her passion.
I want to be a teacher, a 2nd grade teacher who teaches math.
It's a generation of girls that Stankova hopes will continue to embrace the subject she loves.
And researchers found a possible reason why boys pull ahead in math. They followed 300 students from 1st to 6th grade and found boys called out more answers in class during the first 2 years, but also had more wrong answers. By 6th grade, the boys were still answering more problems than girls and were also getting more correct. The researchers believe the boys' impulsivity or their impulsive strategy of calling out the answer seems to benefit them in the long run.
Leave it to the boys. Well, gender aside, the United States as a whole has a long way to go to compete globally when it comes to math and science. According to the National Math and Science Initiative, in 2011, only 30% of U.S. high school students were considered ready for college-level science. So why does that matter? Well, some say the U.S. is losing its competitive edge in math and science while the rest of the world soars ahead.
And that could jeopardize economic growth. That's why there is a push to get more kids to become interested and excel in science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM for short. Educators at the Jefferson School in Georgetown say they are keeping their students ahead of the curve, and their 43-acre living laboratory is a big help.
Let's feel it. What's it feel like?
These 3rd and 4th graders are learning about trees.
I'm looking at it, and we already said it's tall. What else could we possibly use to describe this tree?
And talk about hands-on. Today's lesson is being taught in Jefferson School's outside classroom.
It is very neat. Definitely we have more outside space than inside space, so it's a great extension to what we do every day, being able to go outside for science.
With the trees, the ponds, nature trails, a greenhouse, even goats, the sky really is the limit to what these kids can learn.
Kids would much prefer to be outside than inside, and I think when we can make it more fun for them, they'll learn without even realizing that they're learning.
Today's lesson is also part of Project Learning Tree. The Delaware State Forestry Department trained the Jefferson School faculty to teach the students about their environment and how they can protect it.
They come out here and they're helping us teach the students some of the lessons from Project Learning Tree. And we're going to do set up some sampling of our woods, and then we'll start with 1st graders. And then they will be able to chart and graph the differences in the forest areas up through 8th grade.
Andreas Caruso, or Race as his friends call him, says there's always something new to learn outside.
Whenever we're doing science experiments, we go out there and they teach us. Like just this morning, we went out to our pond and they said, here, see how there's fog and everything above the pond. They're telling us the condensation and everything.
It's something that wasn't planned. I didn't know about it until I walked into that classroom and the teacher happened to say, guess what we did this morning? It happened to just fit flawlessly with what they're studying. One of the students came in and the science teacher said, let's go out. So they were able to see it firsthand and discuss what was happening in the environment and then come back in and talk about it more. So, and we can just drop everything and just do it when it works out, and that is kind of the beauty of a small school.
Connie says what the kids learn outside is integrated with the technology they use inside.
We use it for education appropriately. And then with the whole science piece and engineering and math, we can integrate. We're small. We can look at science and math and we can integrate them together. We can get into building and engineering and the math and science behind it, and then we can go outside and do the environmental sciences, and we can do it on a daily basis.
Lori Smaler says she enrolled her son at the Jefferson School after his 6th grade year started unsuccessfully in public school.
It's pretty much jumping from 5th grade, where you're still a little child, into 6th grade, where you're expected to really, it's all about school now. There's no more warm and fuzzy. And I think that was a big adjustment for him. But also, I think the size of the classes, the size of the school was a little overwhelming for him.
She says he's now an honor student in high school. 7th grade student Carly Sunnergren says focusing on academics is a lot easier when you don't have to worry about the social aspect of school.
Everybody knows everybody so well. It's like you're with family, so you're not worried about like, oh, are the kids going to be mean? Oh, should I be all stressed out, because you're so comfortable.
And Connie says that comfort helps the kids excel as their education continues beyond the Jefferson School.
What I hear most is that they're ready to learn. They're not afraid to ask questions. They're not afraid to take a risk. They know how to find an answer. They feel good about who they are when they go to bigger environments.
I like that the teachers are very kind and they're anxious to teach you stuff. And we're always hands-on everything.
Everything that extends beyond the classroom walls.
The Jefferson School teaches students from junior kindergarten through 8th grade. The student-teacher ratio averages 10-to-1, and tuition assistance is available. Now, if you would like to learn more about the Jefferson School, including their arts and music programs, go to our website, delmarvalife.com. Click on the show tab on the left side of the page.
That is one really incredible place, isn't it?
It is. Lots of land to learn on.
That's amazing. Well, when it comes to those challenging school days, sometimes our kids just need a little reminder everything's going to be okay. Still to come, we're going to introduce you to this guy. This is Pete the Cat. We're going to find out how Pete the Cat is working to turn frowns upside down on the faces of both kids and adults.
And spreading cheer is also one of the missions of the Ronald McDonald House of Delaware. We'll find out how you too can help these families going through some difficult times.
And a little later on Delmarva Life, the refrigerator is the most used appliance in the kitchen. And if it starts to have problems, leaves you asking, do I fix it or do I replace it? Why now might be a good time for you to look for the new fridge and some of the things you'll want to consider. But first, we've been talking about our kids being successful in school. Now, it's time to talk about keeping them healthy.
Does your child have a scratchy bottom, especially at night? They could have pinworms. But they're not alone. About 30 million school-aged children have these common parasites. Pinworms get into the body by touching fingers to the mouth. At night, the mother of the worms crawls out of the colon and they lay eggs. They secrete a chemical around the anus that then prompts the itching. Left untreated, these parasites can cause loss of appetite, weight loss, and intestinal problems. To test for pinworms? It's simple. Press a piece of cellophane tape on your child's bottom at night. The worms and eggs will get trapped on this tape as they come out from the inside. In the morning, remove the tape and take it to the doctor for a diagnosis. Remember, it's easy to clear up the infection once you know you have it.